let me introduce you to your panelists, guys. Let's hear it for the Boozy Badger! Poker Wolf! Ash! Give it up for Spars! And the one, the only, the man from Brazil themselves, Danny! And you're barefoot. Who are you? Guys, this is Convention War Stories. We're going to give you a little look into what happens behind the scenes in a hopefully comedic and non-crying, non-stop manner. People up here on this stage have been on board of directors, con chairman, hardcore staff. We have been working, I believe, looking at this table, we easily have 60 to 70 years of con running experience at this table.
None of us look a day over 80 years old.
Yeah, right? This is your chance to hear why you should be on staff. And why is that? The stories. The stories that come out of these conventions are unbelievable, wild, and sometimes silly. Sometimes heartbreaking, but we don't tell those. We're going to start all the way over here. Poker. Now, remind us, where did you get your start, Poker? You were con chair at which, I can't remember the name.
So, for 7 years I worked with a convention called Fur Reality until they made me chairman, and then a year later, COVID killed it. But that just means I have plenty of stories I'm now legally allowed to talk about.
There you go! Poker, give us a legal story.
Oh, okay. So, strangely enough, with my convention, it was more the staff that caused issues rather than the attendees. For example, 1 year after we had just finished up setting up the convention, just finished tearing down the convention, we decided to have a staff pizza party. And one staff member decided to come up behind another, and just for no reason at all decided to go, I like cheese. To which the other staff member went, wham! Because they got jump scared.
Oh, God. How many ambulance?
None.
Oh, good.
The safety team was bored the entire weekend, so not only did they pull the footage because they were sitting right across from where it happened,
Oh, my God.
they also decided to mummify them.
I'm sorry, they did what?
They took all the bandages we didn't use and wrapped them up. Come on me.
You run a strange convention, dude.
I used to run a strange convention.
Danny! Danny, if you guys don't know who Danny is one of our favorite guests to have out here at Anthrocon. I'd like to introduce the chairman of Brazil Fur Fest. Thank you for coming all the way out here, man. Now, Danny, I only got to experience your con one time, and I can't imagine, with the party atmosphere there, the amazing community, that you guys haven't done some horrible shit. So, Danny, tell us a story.
First of all, thank you for inviting me to be here. It's a great pleasure to be with you guys to share Alkali's stories in Brazil, especially when he got the cell phone, installed his grinder, and
Danny!
vanished in the night streets of Santos. No, I'm kidding.
Brazil is not for beginners, man.
No, Brazil is not for beginners. Actually, there is a good film from Ash Coyote about this. I recommend you to watch on YouTube. But anyway, there is a rule, right? There is rules for this panel. 2 years?
Yes, 2 years. 2 years, correct.
Okay, since Brazil is 2 years flight from here, let's tell a story from last year. Okay, now a convention war stories live.
Dude, it happens. We all just got to watch a con horror story. That was awesome. My apologies, Danny. Continue.
It's okay. Well, since Brazil is 2 years flight from here, I'll tell a story from last year.
Sure.
And you see me a little bit worried doing the chairman fingers during...
Oh, yes, everyone at the table, ready on 3, chairman fingers. 1, 2, 3. Everyone has their own.
Anyway, is everybody here 18 plus?
It's 11.
More or less?
Yeah.
More or less, maybe, okay. Okay. You guys know a company named Bad Dragon?
Yes. We might be aware.
Yeah, in Brazil we had a similar company called Red Panda. You know that. And they are really big in Brazil. They do the same stuff Bad Dragon does, but better because it's Brazilian, just kidding. Okay, USA, okay. Okay, let us be the second. It's okay. And this company hosted a room party at their room. Room parties are always a problem, right, guys? Room parties.
Room parties are a thing.
Are a thing. And they have a group on Telegram with 1,000 people. And they went there and said, we have free food and free booze. Oh no! At our room. The light guy is really good.
They're going to the party, man.
And well, we got a huge line in the hallway of 7th floor. Indeed, our floor, because the chairman and the board were there. And this caused a warning to the security team. But the security team was not available at the time, I don't know why. So the hotel manager decided to go there to make everybody leave the hallway. And we now have this meme in Brazil that our hotel manager, who does not work for the hotel anymore, thankfully. He went there yelling, screaming, there will be no BFF here next year.
Oh!
And Patsy is not here, but Ruby is here. They were in their room because it was late night. And they decided, let him do his thing, and tomorrow we'll see what happens. Of course, this generated a lot of bad reputation for the company, for the hotel. And Twitter, Twitter, it's an old thing, now it's X. Nobody calls it X. Okay.
Yeah, no one calls it X, dude.
Not even Brazil. And some guy went to X and said, I know why the manager went to the hallway and asked everybody to leave the place, because he wanted to be the first in the line to buy this stuff. Can you imagine how many 4 hours of talk we had with him on Sunday morning? I was supposed to host the first games. I was not there. I was supposed to be at the lunch. I was not there because I spent 4 hours convincing our hotel manager to not cancel our contracts for this year. Because we had an animation, remember?
Yeah.
The animation, we made a 4-minute animation for unveiling the theme of next year. And the entire animation was showing places of the hotel because the theme this year is Haunted Hotel. Imagine you put 5,000 Brazilian reais, $1,000 in the trash because of a joke on Twitter. So we convinced the guy and we made a speech on the closing ceremony. We got the animation, I cried like a baby with the animation. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah. And well, we can turn problems into business. Agree, guys? We rented the biggest room of the hotel to Red Panda this year, they will host a party for 1,000 people in a place for 1,000 people. And Alkali is invited.
I love your con, dude. I love your con. Oh my God. Ash. Ash, you have been doing this. Actually, you have been on a board for over a decade at this point, haven't you?
Yes.
Ash, you've got some stories, perhaps about, I don't know, parade. Very dark parade.
Hey, I caused that one.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what happens when you're on a board too long. You screw shit up.
So long ago, 2007, the fursuit parade for Anthrocon used to line up in the Allegheny Ballroom and then go through the convention center, through the dealer's room, back into, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, we had to stop by standing on the balcony out in the sun while the boat motored up the river, taking a panoramic shot of all the fursuiters stacked up in the, well yeah, that was fun for 2 hours in the sun. And then we went back to the ballroom. And I was in the first line to go out in the parade, and the parade did not step off on time. And for those of you who know Uncle Kage and the parade is always on time. This story is why. The parade stepped off 2 hours late. And I was in the first line. We did not leave until 3.5 hours after the parade was supposed to have left, because my line got into the idea to sing My Chemical Romance Black Parade at the top of our lungs in fursuit. And KP, and this is one of his favorites, and this is why I ended up on the board eventually, decided we had to wait to go last. Yeah, yeah. Not a good idea to ever sing that loudly and off-key.
Oh my God. Sparf! Sparf is losing their minds, like board of directors do. Sparf, you are the current programming lead here at Anthrocon. I know that you are vice chairman over at the con, whose name I've forgotten every time. Furthermore. I know, I can't freaking remember Furthermore. I don't know why. I love the con, I cannot remember their name. Furthermore. I know!
Please, don't say Argentina for Fiesta in Brazil. Please.
No. Sparf, regale us.
So, okay, it's on. I'm just I'm not hearing myself. I apologize. So, my first furry convention was 2008. So I got to witness I got to look at the fursuit photo of that kind of parade where they're lined up along in the sun, and I'm looking at it and going, no, I'll never do that. But I was only an attendee then. But you know, I've only been doing FurryCon since 2008, which is kind of minuscule for holding the positions I've had and hold. So this is sort of I was staffing cons. This predates. This is an Anthrocon story. There used to be a lovely room party hosted in a suite here. It was official. It was recognized. There's a wonderful publisher called Sofa Wolf Press, and they are good friends. Yeah, Sofa Wolf. Yeah, I see you. They used to host a big party up in a suite, which I did not know until many years later was the chairman's suite. They borrowed it for the purpose. And you walk into this room, and you're you know, it's your first con or second con or third con. This was like my third con that I had been to, so it's my full weekend. I'm hanging out. I am meeting people that I never expected to meet. Artists and authors that I look up to and admire that no reason to know who I am, and I'm doing my best to hold it together, not be that guy. I'm up there with my friend who is a deer from back home, and the deer has been drinking a lot, as you do. We go into this party and there is Blotch, there is Ursula Vernon, there is Fluke, and most especially there's the German furry contingent. There's Night Fox,
Night Fox is tending the bar, and at the time, if I recall, Night Fox was a distributor for Jagermeister. So he had a Jagermeister tat.
Oh my God.
That's scary.
My friend is a deer. I would like to point that out. We walked to the bar to get a drink. He goes over and it's like, hi, Scoop. It's kind of shaggy. It was weird. And he says, yeah, can I just have a shot of Jaeger? And Night Fox looks at him and goes, just straight Jaeger? Yeah, it's okay. I'm a deer. I'm on the label. It's okay. We're in this party. I see Uncle Kage come in flanked by two members of public safety and collapse exhausted with a 1,000-yard stare on the couch. At this point, my friend has handed me his phone and said, keep this away from me. I'm drinking too much. I said, all right, I've got your phone. It's in my pocket. No problem. After another few Jaeger shots, my friend comes up to me and goes, Sparf, give me my phone. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm a good friend. You told me not to give you your phone. No, you got to give me my phone. No, if you ask me a third time, I'm going to give it to you. Okay, well, you hold on to it. But you need to call my boyfriend and you need to tell him that I'm in love with him. I'm going to give you a chance to take that back. No, I want you to do it. I'm going to give you one more chance to take that back. Do it. Okay. I go out into the hall. I step to the right of the double doors that lead into the suite. I ring his boyfriend. Ring, 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 ring. Hey. Hi. This is not dear friend. But he wants me to tell you, door slams open. Dear friend goes left, doesn't even look in my direction, goes down the hall toward the elevators, trying to find me, trying to stop me from doing what he has forced me to do. I said, hang on, he'll be here in a second. So he said, Sparf, give me the phone. No, you told me, Sparf, give me the phone. You told me to do this, I have to do it, I have to be the one to do it. Okay. Here you go, but you have to really do it. So I handed him his phone, and he did. He said, I'm in love with you. I love you so deeply and so much. I go to bed. I get up the next morning, and I go down to, I forget what it was. It had formerly been the Steel City Diner. It was necessarily something. It was a breakfast joint. It was a diner. I go down the street. I sit down at the counter, and I order, and he's sitting there with that hangover stare, you know the one.
Oh yeah.
And he's clearly coming out of it, and I say, oh man, long night? And he goes, no, I pretty much went to bed at like 11. I said, no you didn't. You came to the Sofa Wolf room party with me. I did what? You asked Night Fox for a shot of straight Jaeger. I did what? Every line I said to him, I did what? Oh no. I have to go make like 4 phone calls. Sparf, I'm sorry, I have to go now. Can you pay for this bill and I'll get you back later?
In the words of Jagermeister, oh dear God. Boozy!
Yeah?
Boozy, you are the official lawyer for multiple conventions, the unofficial lawyer for multiple conventions, and genuinely the most wonderful jackass that I know. Boozy, I know that you have so many stories for us that you would never dream of breaking the 2-year rule.
May I interrupt you? I want to challenge you, Boozy.
You want to challenge Boozy?
Yeah, to tell the story drinking that cachaça from Brazil before telling the story.
I'm sorry, hold on. What are we doing? They have to drink
Cachaça before telling the story.
Yeah, they won't make it.
No, just a sip. That cachaça, you remember? No,
Yeah, I remember that stuff. My tongue went numb.
Oh, you don't know.
Yeah, sure. spoiler.
Oh wait, you actually have it?
Yeah. Why did you think they weren't serious?
I immediately assumed that
We need cups. We need cups. Love you, Boozy.
You know what? I love you too. Anybody who hands me a bottle at the Kind War Stories panel.
There are cups there. We need cups. Or not. Boozy, there is a rule.
Yes?
Just one sip, you stay in your mouth for 10 seconds and then you swallow.
It has to stay in my mouth for 10 seconds.
10 to 15 seconds and then you swallow.
This is a
Okay, cups.
All right, who's doing this?
Don't swallow before 10 to 15 seconds.
No audience, sorry. That's a major rule. My apologies. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No sorry. Stay to the rules.
All right, somebody got time for
But
this?
you guys need to drink before tell the story.
He does. We had a drinking contest and I won.
No, guys, you drink before tell the story, right?
I know.
We got you. Sorry, there's just a lot of cups.
Everybody wants some now. You challenged me and everybody else like, yeah, let's get in on this. You all realize the Brazilians are going to kick our asses, right? Like, this is not a challenge.
yeah, without doubt.
I don't know how experienced the rest of you are, but I know this. We're fucked. Who's it?
On a scale of 1 to Lord, how does it rate?
Here's the problem. Danny assumes I want to live, and we're on day 2 of Anthrocon. I'm good with what happens.
Gentlemen, you know the toast. If you know it out there, join us. And here's to you, here's to me. Forever friends we shall be. And if we ever disagree, fuck you, here's to me.
Don't swallow. Whatever they say because they don't have this in Brazil. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 12, 13, 14, 15, swallow.
Okay, we're good now?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out what the aftertaste is.
I have suggestions.
Yeah. So, first, I love all of you. I like to think that over the years we have come to know each other and respect each other very much. Have you all read the news over the last couple days?
Yes!
Have you read the news specifically today?
Yes!
Are you aware of Allah does not approve? I am on staff here. Would you like to know how I found out about this incident?
God, yes!
When you are doing something at a con and you see something, you are told to do what? Call the number on the back of the badge, right? My badge is somewhere else. You are told to put it in our Telegram channels, contact a staffer on site, let them know what's happening, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yesterday morning I woke up to a message on Telegram in the Not Safe for Work channel pinging me by name and telling me to check my direct messages. I checked the other methods of communication. You all didn't try to contact any of them. You all said to yourselves, gee, Boozy needs to know about this because he's legal. And one of you said, let's tag him in the fuck channel. And you know the sad thing is when I told them
there are better methods to communicate. Their response was, yeah, but I figured you'd see it here first, and I am angry because they were right. And to all of you in the Not Safe for Work channel who just found out I'm in there and people have tagged me, I've seen your genitals.
Wow! Well put. My name is Alkali. I've been con chair of First Squared. I've been on board of directors at multiple conventions, and I have seen some shit. Sometimes shit that I was the cause of, and sometimes shit that I was the solution to, and once both. Running a convention can be very daunting at times. I'm sure that you have seen board of directors wandering around, head down, just trying to get to where they need to go. Why is that? Because you are all crazy. Crazy as in, oh my God, what have they done? And crazy as in crazy smart. I make the joke constantly, you'll hear me say it throughout my stand-up, my improv, that there are so many engineers in the furry fandom. Well, there's a reason. Because one of my first problems I ever had, now, we started First Squared after a barbecue got out of hand and destroyed a lawn. That's how you know you're going to run a successful convention. Did the party that the convention turned into have a property damage value? We nailed it. We had a few problems our first year. One of the problems being the rave, the Thursday night rave. The Thursday night basement light switch rave. AV, I'm still not convinced you didn't have a hand in it. It looked good. The first year was daunting, but I will hand it to the fur community and the incredible staff of First Squared. We were ecstatic when we reached the end of the first year and had not had a police, ambulance, or fire call. I thought that was pretty cool. In fact, our second year, no police, ambulance, or fire call. And I thought that was incredible. In our third year, we had a police, ambulance, and fire call all at once. That's what happens when you kick a cop. So, but this year we didn't have those problems. Our first year, we had beginner con problems. We had the problem of, hey, just want to let you know they paid the fine. What fine? The stripper pole fine. There's a stripper pole fine? Yeah, the stripper pole fine. Fine, what's the stripper pole fine? That's when you put up a stripper pole in your room and we fine you. Oh! So somebody put a stripper pole up in their room? Oh yeah. Like, with a big old base? No, they screwed it in. Alright. But none of that compares to the middle of the convention. Because in the middle of the con, and you'll hear Uncle Kage talk about this, you'll hear every con chairman talk about this, there's a look. Every one of us knows it. Most of the time it goes like this. And most of the time it's delivered by the hotel liaison. My hotel liaison gave me the look, gave me the finger waggle. I refrained from being turned on and I joined him in the elevator. We went up to the 4th floor where I got to watch the reenactment of The Shining, except with weed smoke. Those elevator doors opened and all of the smoke came in as they were separating. And I thought it was quite beautiful. We walked down the hallway that looks like it's right out of an old slasher movie. And get to the door of the room. You know how we could tell the door of the room? Because most doors aren't themselves enjoying a joint. The smoke coming from under the door looked like our hotel had gained sentience and had decided hippie is the way to go. Exactly that. We knocked on the door and I heard the saddest sound in the world coming from somebody who is old enough to have been a hippie. I heard the toilet flushing. Over and over and over. My hotel liaison is now pounding on the door, hey, open up. And I'm yelling, yeah, don't waste it, those low flows are shit. I don't help my situation. We finally get into the room. Little caveat to all of you, don't be stupid. These are very fun stories now. I'm joking about it now, at the time I was not. This is a serious matter and this is scary. This is possibly going to cost us our hotel. I've said this to you before, the board of directors technically and physically has one job. Make sure the convention happens next year. And if you are too dumb to not know that the towel that you put under the door has to be wet for it to do anything, just saying. Just saying. We open the door and we enter the room, and in the corner of the room, I see the cause of the problem. Do you guys know what a hookah is? Cool. I'll go over it in a second. Hookah is a device that when you decide to smoke it, your smoking substance sits on the top and is then drawn through the entire apparatus. Well, they had attached the top of a hookah to a fog machine. So, I'm impressed. The best part is, if you've ever used a professional fog machine, just so you know, it has a cool down time, so as they're standing there trying to justify their actions, it's still every once in 10 seconds, just a little of smoke. So, unfortunately, the sad part of this story, but the responsible part of the story, they knew they screwed up. There was no argument, there was no fight. They were unfortunately removed from the convention. Years later, one of them came up to me and apologized for what they did and how they did it. And I appreciate that, genuinely, guys. We're gonna make mistakes. I've made mistakes. Just learn from them. So we left. I felt really bad. It's the first time I'd ever banned someone from a convention. Myself and my liaison get in the elevator. Under his arm, he has a fog machine. And he looks at me, and he does this. And I look at him, and I do this. He threw paper, I threw rock, he got to keep the fog machine. And as I was reminded in the middle of telling this story, there's a second similar story. Boozy?
Sometimes we are the horror story. Alkali and I ran a con. Keeping in mind, we both run and work for cons. As a matter of fact, I have the only con that has never in its history had an ambulance or police call.
Hey, buddy, is there a reason for that?
Yeah, we are held so far out in the woods that it's not accessible by road. There is no ambulance service to our location, and we're pretty sure they don't have cops out there.
We had a board meeting. I gave him one responsibility. Could you look up the nearest hospital?
I certainly did.
You did?
I did.
What was it?
The next meeting, he said, hey, weren't you supposed to look? I'm the con chair. He owns the con. You are about to find out why he is the legally responsible one. Because when he asked me to look up the nearest hospital, everybody else did everything they needed to do. He got to me, he said, you had one pre-con job and you haven't looked up the hospital yet. And I said, oh, I did. He goes, well, what are the directions to it? I said, oh, it doesn't matter. It's far enough away. Anybody who gets injured will be dead before we get there. There's a vet clinic a half hour up the road.
Thank God we're furries. I hope he's hard of seeing.
You want to have a lot of fun. I joke, I say basement becomes the worst gun in the world, and it is. You know what? We have no television access. We have no cell phone access. And what really makes it horrible for furries, there's no internet.
We force you to talk to each other. You're welcome.
We have a DVD player and 2 DVDs that are left at the location. One of them is disc 2 of volume 2 of season 2 of Duck Dynasty.
You monsters.
The other is Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. You would think that's a good thing, except there's another thing. The DVD player is one of those really, really cheap ones that has no on-unit controls, and the remote has been missing for 20 fucking years. So we can't change it off the menu. So you're not watching Master and Commander, you're just watching the DVD menu on repeat for 2 hours. Anyways, to the story I was going to tell.
These things happen.
Alkali and I were at a convention. It was an 18-plus convention in a state where certain things are legal. And we ran into a gentleman there who is an inventor. He had invented a device that he could not wait to show us.
Oh, no.
It was a backpack. And in that backpack was a steel thermos that he had drilled out the top and the side of. In the side of this steel thermos, he had placed a bowl that you would fill with marijuana and light. Why was all this in a backpack, you ask? Because on the top of the furnace was a vacuum motor that was attached to a hose that instantly would fill any space you were in with marijuana smoke. I don't know if you know this about Alkali, but he has a van. So we went to sit in Alkali's van and watch this device in action. Now, I am certain that the device worked very, very well. If you were using marijuana that your cats had not obviously peed on, because the whole van reeked of cat piss. And then the backpack caught fire. Now, you see the outfits that we are wearing. These are what we call our con outfits. When we put them on, we are going to be on. We're performers. He calls it putting on Alkali. I call it putting on Boozy. Here's the secret. We each only have one of these outfits. And we had both been wearing them in the cat piss van. So the next day, as we are walking through the convention space, we realized what we smelled like when someone said, "Oh my God, does nobody here clean their litter boxes out?" Febreze did not help.
Nope. 3 cycles through the laundry did, though, and fire.
You know what happened? He called us. He says, "My van still smells like cat piss, and my spouse," I have 7 cats. My cats are all litter box trained, but my spouse immediately got on the phone and said, "You can order industrial-sized Nature's Miracle urine remover." And
it works great.
I second that.
God damn it. Oh my God. I will never forget sitting with my friends in a van, finding out we're about to hotbox. By the way, we did not know what the apparatus was till we got to the van. We thought we were going to smoke a joint. And then this one, I love your reaction, because you have to remember, con chairs, con board of directors, if it's happened, we've seen it. We are trained to be calm and collective as often as possible. So when a random fire broke out inside my van, their response was, look.
To be fair, I also opened the window to get a draft to see if I could make it bigger. Not my fucking van.
Did you try to backdraft me?
Imagine the story it would have been.
Fair enough.
Would have been this story, but better.
Oh my God, that's not better, that's my van. Love that van. No, it's not the candy van yet, though somebody did make me a badge this weekend that says, Boozy, what did it
They're
say?
in the front row.
Is it a
It's
bad
Quack Quack Hawk in the front row. Made Alkali a badge for this weekend to be put on a magnet on the back of his van that reads, "The free candy is implied."
I'm totally putting that on there, by the way. That's too funny not to.
By the way, quick shout out for that. Quack Quack Hawk is in the front row. They are also at the dealer's den this week, and I believe they are a wonderful artist and a great friend. Go take a look at them.
Poker, I'm going to need your help for this one.
Lucy, I got a
Yep.
request.
Out of, what, you got a request?
I got a request.
What's that?
Is Ghibli Jobblies legal now?
Ghibli Jobblies are, oh.
I am never telling Ghibli Joe.
Okay, now, like, genuinely appreciated. Normally, yes, that is Kage's story, and they're not here.
He doesn't tell it anymore.
Yeah, there's a
He
reason.
retired. I know, I was there.
One time we found some tits. All right, there we go.
That's my story. I'm going about the injured arm for it.
That was you?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was me. I'm the one who had the plate in his arm bent.
I was based.
Because I was the board member on duty because everyone else had gone to bed.
Stop finding tits.
It's not my fault. They left them there.
Look, there are certain things, if you lose, you should go to Lost and Found immediately. One of them is your genitals. Please pick up your dicks and other things as soon as possible. We will start sword fights. Poker,
Yeah.
need your help for this one.
Okay.
Out of context radio call.
Ah, son of a...
When you go to a convention, if you are on board, staff, sometimes even volunteer, you might get a radio. There are two kinds of radios. We call them hot and cold mics. Hot means that you have a radio probably on your shoulder, possibly in your pocket, and everyone around you can hear it. The following stories are all hot radios. Poker, out of context radio call, go.
Hey, I found a needle.
This is security to events. Did anyone put out the fire? This is chair to security. Do you mean the barbecue? Yes, I do. Please call it a barbecue. Anyone else who wants to jump in on this one? Out of context radio calls. You can just feel free. Yeah. Okay, you got one? Go.
Hey, I found some poppers.
This is the con chair. Do you mean novelty popping discs?
Yeah.
Please call them novelty popping discs.
What are they doing? Why is the charity auction still going on? They're shirtless and now they're selling Pepper's Gatorade.
Sorry. Is anyone going to do something about the guy juggling fire in the parking lot? This is legal, signing off.
I'm pretty sure selling edibles isn't really legal in Pennsylvania. I'm going to delete this message.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We've got a Donald Duck puck in the dance comp. What does that mean? Get off the radio.
I have a vendor here delivering a bouncy castle.
I will stab you.
This actually happened.
The bouncy house is now set up back behind main stage.
Oh, you were there for that.
I was there for that.
He saw me run.
It was funny.
That's one of the weird things you have to understand about conventions is insurance. It's actually very interesting that happened to me 2 weekends ago. I was at an event called Electric Forest. It's an EDM concert of 70,000 people in the woods. Oh, some of you know it. That's actually really cool. At this event, there was a weather event, and people had to be evacuated. And I've been to FurCons multiple times now, where we have fully been evacuated, watching the difference between the two communities. Exactly. The fur community had to leave early in the morning. We went out to the golf course, and we made our own fun. We created the Pine Shrine. We watched Uncle Kage fuck off over a hill. This one yelled at me, "Take off the top hat, I want to go to breakfast and we don't want 200 people to follow us." But furries found their own amusement. And this, while we were being evacuated, I was in a mass of a few thousand people, and I'm 6'8". You know what my advantage during an evacuation is? I can see where I'm going. But I can also hear everything. And listening to what these people were complaining about made me realize that they don't understand how events like this work. I heard things like, we're adults, we should be able to decide if we're in danger and stick around. I'm like, honey, by saying that sentence, you have just told me you are not an adult.
But you are in danger if I hear it.
You know the best thing about this was a bomb threat. It delayed opening for the con by 4 hours. They said, okay, the way we're going to do it is we can't just make up what we lost, so we're going to start paneling at this time as soon as we get back in. And the very first panel was con horror stories. We're going in, and Alpine goes, what do we have? And I just could not stop laughing long enough to tell him. And at Con Horror Stories, I got to impart something very fun to all the attendees who had just lived through their own Con Horror Story. When a bomb threat is called in to a location, the police sweep the entire location. They start in the parking lot, locking it down so you cannot leave until they have cleared the parking lot. Then they begin to sweep the building. And they sweep the building room by room. And they will look in a lot of places that a bomb could hide. And in your hotel room, the police are given a master key that opens every door in the hotel to sweep it room by room. And because they are looking for a bomb, they will be able to open your drawers. And they will see whatever you have placed in your drawers. And when I got to that part, about 20 fucking people stood up and walked out of the panel. And I looked at Alpha and I went, oh, some people are going to find out whether they're going to jail this weekend or not.
Ash?
Yes?
My friend over here loves picking fun at me because we're good friends.
Goddamn right.
But you were here for the first con, so attack.
Oh, I was. See, it's a rather open secret that Boozy and I know each other outside of the con.
Yeah, you want to know how?
Well, you should tell him, yeah.
Yeah. So the first time I came here, apparently Kage bets people.
Yes, he does.
So they betted me, and this one reached out to me and said, you practice in this area? And I go, yeah. And they go, do you know anybody by this name? And I said, yeah, I do. And they said, well, what's their names? And I said, you're the son of my clients, aren't you?
Yes.
It went further.
Yes.
Because very shortly after that, while we were talking about it, and I gave them my spouse's name, there was silence, and then they said, "That's my cousin."
Yes. So Boozy shows up to Anthrocon, and, well, at that time, Events had a office in the Westin, actually. It was one floor down. In that back office, people had brought us, we had confiscated some things that weren't supposed to be there.
Oh, don't lie. That was yours.
Yes.
But you're not on staff or not on the board anymore. You don't have to lie anymore.
Oh, you're right. I can tell the truth. So yeah, I had a whole bar because we had it specifically brought in.
What are they going to do? Kick you off the board you just resigned from?
True. So I have a whole bar. And Boozy comes back, and I have been told to make sure he has a good time. Yeah, so Alkali shows up a little bit later. And 5 hours go by, and we have killed 3 to 5 bottles. The hotel has come in, and they have joined us in drinking. Jerry, the Westin liaison who has left to go to another job, he joined us. Great time. But the best part of that was Boozy stumbles out, and I'm walking out stone sober, and I've been drinking drink for drink. He had a hangover. I didn't.
Your liver lets you cheat,
Yes.
sir. That is the same event in which Alkali earned the nickname from Boozy of the magical booze-generating fairy.
Was it lawyer, booze fairy, and I don't remember what the shirts are. They're somewhere.
I made them.
Love you.
Love you. Getting towards the end of this. So because this is a con, we're going to remind you of one thing. This weekend, we are sharing our event with a charity. This weekend's charity has one very specific goal for the money from this weekend, and that is elderly animals. One of their goals for this weekend is to take the money earned and to be able to throw that at people who are going to take in some of the elderly animals that hit the system, take them home, and give them wonderful lives. This money isn't going to the charity. This money is going to be redistributed to people who are taking care of these dogs in their own homes. I adore this charity. I adore it.
Hey, we play a song.
So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Can I get a... Oh, that sucked. Oh, okay. That sucked. Can I get a show of hands? How many of you are at your first FurCon? Oh, we do have a few new... Oh, I like this. Here's how this is going to work. The hat is just going to be passed around the room, and I will tell you guys the same thing I always do. If you can give, give. And if you can't, don't worry about it. This is the furry fandom, and those animals are going to be so well taken care of. If you don't know what it is, guys, please show up to closing ceremonies. It is a beautiful event to wrap up our weekend, and it's our chance to make a charity cry. So I'm going to just hand the hat out here, guys. If you can, just start passing it around. It'll make its way home eventually. The hat always finds its way home. And as a thank you, oh God. As a thank you, we're going to tell a little bit of an old story here. I'm sure a few of you have heard it. A long time ago, I ran hospitality suite for MFF. MFF had one of the last hospitality suites that had a full meal replacement. The idea was that if you showed up to our convention, you would be able to go there. There wasn't a lot to eat around the convention at that time, so having a hospitality suite that could feed you was very important. And I was very happy that they gave that to me, till I realized that also included soda.
Oh, no. Oh.
Soda was not fun. Soda was a pellet of cans and liquid that had the tendency to explode. Soda was the bane of my existence, so when I told them I would love to fix this problem, they said, don't worry about it, we are buying a soda machine. Like, that sounds wonderful. How is this going to work? They said, we're going to buy a nice little 6-spigot soda machine. You just refill the things and you're done. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Doesn't that sound wonderful? They lied! They lied to me! For instead of 6-spigot soda machine with all the bells and whistles. They went onto eBay. They bought me a used 16-spigot 1970s soda machine that was glued to a steel rolling table and said, "Best of luck." This machine did not have a port to put water into it from any kind of plumbing. Oh, nay, nay. We had sterilized 5-gallon buckets that we were filling with distilled water so that you could enjoy your sugar water. At one point, the system became so clogged that I watched a young man walk up to this system, put his hand to the Code Red Mountain Dew, and get delivered a straight stream of Code Red Mountain Dew syrup. And as I looked at this young man and said, "Give me a second, I can reprime the system and you can have your drink," he did this. He's going to be president someday. This went on for 2 days. My staff was considered the tarred and feathered of MFF. Why? Because every time we had to change one of the syrups, we'd have to get under the glued steel table. We were so sticky, the fur that comes off of your fursuits was just sticking to us. We had fursuits! And they were not cute. It's day 3. I'm exhausted. My entire staff is exhausted. But it's okay. Because you don't staff for any other reason than you love what you're doing. You love your community and you're trying to give back. And you know what the beauty of that is? Afterwards, you get to hang out with that community. That night, Saturday, I'm in back of house with the late, great Takaza and the director of finance, Woody. We're just having fun. We're sitting back there and we're listening to the radio. Not radio like FM/AM. Radio, the open channel that is live at MFF of their board of directors and staff who are on year 1 of using a radio. If you've ever been to a con on year 1 when they use the radio, let me tell you how that sounds. Hey guys, does anyone have any of those tails that we need? What kind of tails? Duck tails. Woo-woo. What was that? DuckTales. Woo! Hey guys, can you stop doing that? Stop doing what? The thing that you say after DuckTales. Woo! It's been days. It has been days of somebody saying DuckTales. Thank you. We're all having fun. As this is happening, as we are laughing at the insanity that is happening over these radios, my buddy turns around and knocks over an entire giant bowl of instant dried oatmeal. Just all over the floor. I'm not going to clean that up, but I'll make fun of it. I grab my radio. I put it to my ear. This is Alkali. The oatmeal has been spilled. Takaza turns white as a ghost. Woody is doing that laughter where you can't breathe anymore. You know the one where you're not sure if you're having a great time or you should plan your funeral really quickly? I'm a funny motherfucker, apparently. Alkali, where's the oatmeal been spilled? Oh, it's everywhere! Woody, the director of finance, regains some semblance of control. In a totally breathless state, looks at me and tries to get out. Alkali, this weekend, oatmeal is the code for money. Before I ran any of these departments, when I first joined the furry fandom, the first thing I did was charity. I've been collecting charity money since a year after I joined this fandom. This is a new jacket. The original of these had 6 hidden interior pockets. Most of the board of directors was very aware that I was collecting money for charity, wandering around a convention, and turning it in when I had a goddamn chance. So the guy that wanders around your convention with thousands of dollars in a hidden pocket had just told security, I spilled money. Where did I spill money? Moral of the story. After that incident, I was banned from using the radios at MFF for 2 years. I fucking win! Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Nana, thank you for being here at Convention War Stories. Let's hear it for your panelists. Let's hear it for Poker! The man from Brazil, Danny! Let's give it up for Sport! The one, the only, the immune to alcohol, and of course, the man who has found furry and hit the ground running, one of my closest friends. Please give it up for the amazing Boozy Badger. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, you get out of a con what you put into it. Enjoy yourselves and good